Is there a better way to spend a hot heat wave day than being locked in your attic without air conditioning and shooting a YouTube video on a computer that's heating up the place even more?
That said, let's start with the video. I did a couple of sketches the other day, starting with this sort of fighter something. I turned it into this one, and then I turned it into this one. And I threw these visuals into Instagram for a poll to see what people like. And most people like this third one and this visual. Now, this one I decided to draw out traditionally. Here you can see, bing bang boom, there it is. Not the biggest fan of the coloring, but it was just fun to turn it into a quick traditional sketch and also to approach it from a different angle. When I redraw something, I always try to draw it from different angle, challenging myself, the challenge, like if I understand it or not. But I thought, okay, that's interesting because like these drawings themselves are iterations of the base drawing. I just drew over it. So why not do that digitally as well for this visual? And then we can take a look at what are the actual drawing benefits. What do you learn as a drawing person from doing this sort of iterative approach? And the first benefit, you can see me here turning on one layer after the other, is that it helps you generate a whole lot of different ideas very quickly actually, because the trick to this is you just take the drawing, you duplicate it, you always have a spare drawing, and you just take your eraser and say, oh, I don't like this part anymore, I'm just gonna redraw it into something else. You draw squares there, you can connect the squares, but very quickly you can change the whole feeling of your drawing by adding and taking things away. Of course, you can be more drastic. I try to keep the cockpit the same for most of my sketches, but you can say, oh, what happens if I just add wings in the front? Or what happens if I cut part of this here out and let some of the engine show through there as well? So it's very easy to try out things and see where you could where you could take your little design. Okay, let's duplicate it again. There we go. And then we go into part 2, which is exercising perspective. Because as we know, this ship is in a perspective where we have a vanishing point somewhere up in that direction and a vanishing point somewhere in that direction. But this is the typical box experiment, well, not experiment, but box exercise, where you learn how to draw a box without vanishing lines and the vanishing points. So basically the same thing we apply here as well. In a box, you know that all the lines sort of go into the same vanishing point, and by exercising that a lot, let's do the other direction as well, you know how to split this box up, you know how to add. The same principles work on this ship as well. So I know that if I want to change something on the side of it, like these are my lines that, oh, actually let's change it to the red one. These are my lines that go in that direction, right? These are all those vanishing points. And if I switch to this one, these are my lines that go into that direction. And now I know that whenever I want to do something, let's bring down the opacity a little bit so it doesn't bother us too much. I just go back to this drawing and say, okay, I want to split up this, well, not cockpit, whatever I would call it, into several pieces. Then I know that I will cut it something like this. And you don't, I mean, of course you worry about perspective, but you very quickly, the more you do this, the more you can apply this basic. Same thing here. You can say, let me just cut this off completely. So you know I just have to follow these red lines that you establish. Same on this side. Just follow the red line. And then you have sort of a cross section there where you can show more of the engine and all the parts that you want to put there, of course. Same thing if you want to add something. Let's say we don't like this back part anymore. We want to make a big block out of it, well, no problem. I'm just following the red and blue lines. Of course, you can draw a longer line just to make sure that we are correct, because then here we can erase this part a bit. And now we have two big blocks here. Same thing again. Let me draw this through. You see, not quite good. Just repeat it until we have a line that we are happy with. But these don't quite follow the red line, but I feel like that red line was a bit hastily drawn in my defense, so that is maybe not the best one there. So when you set up these lines for yourself, make sure that they're correct. And then the same thing, like if I want to add a wedge here, I will know to go up that high. Whoop, whoop, this will be the height of it. Just fix this line a little bit, and now I can just connect these lines here. You can erase the parts that you don't need anymore, and there you sort of have a old school, very wedgy exhaust system. And we added very quickly, we went from that to this just by thinking of the perspective lines. Benefit 3, and I'll make another copy, is your ellipses. Same thing works with ellipses as well. We have our red lines. If I want to put ellipses on it, I always just draw lines that are 90 degrees on these, and then I know that our red lines will always be the minor axis, and the lines that are 90 degrees on it will be our major axis. So our ellipses will always be longer on the major axis and shorter on the minor axis. And that's how you build your ellipses there. So same thing on the other side. Let's say I am on the wrong layer. No, I'm on the right layer. Very good. So let's say I cut away this part of the front of the ship like that and like that, and I want to put an ellipse in here. Well, that's not really a problem now, because the way to do that is I'm going to draw out sort of the box where I want this ellipse to be. That would be here. I'm estimating sort of the center-ish. That it's not the axis of that ellipse will not be always in the center. It's usually a little bit moved. You can find the video I made for that. But then this axis, which is parallel with the blue ones, will give us the minor axis somewhere there, and the major axis will be that one. And all we have to do is fit our ellipse in there. And that is nicely in perspective. This is how you exercise your ellipses. And this is why quick iterations will help you with this as well, because you will just have to draw new ellipses. Let's say also we want to take away this whole part here. So I'm just going to make one big ellipse here. For that, I'm identifying the central axis of these cylinders. That would be somewhere there. I erase that one. This is my 90-degree angle, and I'll open it up right quite a bit, and I put my ellipse there. I feel I need to open it a bit more, something like that. And now I can put one in there. Do the same construction here. Make sure that it's nice and open. And then of course here you can play around, you can do all sorts of sci-fi tech stuff that you want, erase parts that you don't want to be there. The same thing will happen here as well. This is 90 degrees. Open it up, I think relatively wide. Let's see, is this a good opening? Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then just draw these back. Then we know that this is, well, it was not quite 90 degrees. So you have to pay attention with these. And this is the easiest thing to mock up. But once again, because you're iterating, it is going to be hard to mock it up, especially because you don't worry about the details so much here. And we will talk about that in a second as well. There we go. Very quickly went from this to this. Okay, benefit number 4 is growing your visual library. And I would also like smoosh in here muscle memory. So visual library is like, oh, actually, well, let me choose it, right? This, oh, I didn't choose it, right? This here is actually a really cool shape for a spaceship. So next time I'm drawing a spaceship, I know that, oh, I can give it sort of a wedged front, but I can very easily break that wedge up and bring in sort of a cylindrical shape here, like with what I just drew there. And that actually looks pretty cool, especially if I add the cockpit as well. And I can add this to my other spaceships as well. And I can use this in different ways. Like if I have a longer nose spaceship and I have the cockpit here, I can break it up at different places. I can break it up close to, oh, actually, let's do iteration, right? Let me copy this. I can break it up close to the cockpit. I can bring in this cylindric shape object there. And then I will have the wings there, whatever. Or I can break it up a bit further from the cockpit. Maybe have a smaller cylindric shape there. So this is part of your visual library that now you sort of have a reference. Oh, I can do these small adjustments, but all coming out. Oh, all coming out from this ship and this iteration. And then, of course, what I talked about muscle memory as well, that the more you do these shapes, the easier it is going to be to draw something like this. And you just get used to all these shapes, all your lines, because you're just exercising everything so much. And finally, benefit number 5 is that failing is okay. I mean, I started with this, and this is another drawing, and this is a drawing, but this looks poopy. But I don't need to keep it. It's fine if it doesn't work. I got it out there. This was also just a test. This one, some things might work, some won't. The wings are a bit rigid on this one, not a fan. This one looks like the original. No, I did something with the wings there, so it's a little bit more okay. The idea is that none of these have to be perfect, and then you are not worried about any of these sketches being precious. You're not wasting hours of time trying to like, oh, okay, let me just draw a small little. No. You just do a whole bunch of sketches and you don't worry about the exact outcome. They just need to capture ideas. They need to capture stuff that you like about them. And they teach you that drawing indeed is just a tool. This is a tool. You're not going to showcase this anywhere. This is a tool for you to communicate an idea, in this case just to yourself, because you're exploring. Hey, a bonus benefit, which actually might be the most important out of all of them, is you learn about mirroring. And mirroring, of course, is important when you draw stuff that is symmetrical. So this ship has sort of this mirroring line in the middle. And everything I draw using this, mirroring line, mirroring plane as well. So every time I'm drawing something, let me bring this down, and let me bring the ship opacity down a little bit as well. So let's say I want to add anything new to the ship, I am going to do some mirroring. If I want to add some rocket launchers here, that go something like this, and then, I don't know, you have the holes in there. I am going to look, okay, this goes this distance until the center, this mirroring plane. Then I take this distance, I extend it here this. Wow, how many more times would I do it? I extend it there. Keep in mind, because of perspective, this is always a little bit shorter than that one, just a bit. And then I can redraw the same sort of rocket launching pod, whatever that wants to be there. Same thing. Same thing if I want to cut something off. So if I want to cut, let's say, part of this ship off, usually in my head, because like I did this throughout the whole video, but this happens when you understand something, or at least you think you do. You don't always explain it that well. I look at this goes in here, right? So we have this distance, x. This is going to be just a little bit smaller than x, and I continue with this line. And then I know the same thing here. I bring this line down. I bring this line down here. And I can come out with this, and I come out from there. And I take a look, how long is this? I know that this probably has to be that long. Same thing if I'm trying to add a phaser, laser, whatever this would be. There is an axis for this thing. Now, this is down here, so we're probably hitting somewhere down there, I guess. So that if I take a blue now, we have a distance here. It would be probably something there. And we also have a distance here that would go probably some from here to there, maybe a bit shorter there. Okay, now here is my line, and here is my rounded thing. And of course we don't see those parts because of the ship, but that would be my phaser. So this is a bonus point that you learn mirroring. Well, not that you learn, but you have to exercise it a lot. And this will make you better at mirroring, which is one of the most important things here. And this is the output of an iterative process that took under an hour. I generated a whole bunch of spaceships. Of course, they look somewhat similar because I try to keep the core the same, but it is up to you how much you want to change, how much you want to keep the things the same. And as you can see, it will also help you in your drawing process. So I hope this little video helped you, and well, I don't know if it taught you something else, but reminded you why it's good to keep on iterating and iterating and not worrying about your little babies. And with that, this video is over. Wish you a great time and keep on sketching. Till the next time. Bye bye.